Okay, we are about to enter the dark corners of the earth. Well, I was a Boy Scout, but I like to think of myself as a private investigator. Oh, phew. Oh. Okay. Well, the game crashed, so... attempt re-entry. I'll show all of this. Audio's a bit loud for my headphones. Good old sanity effects. Horror. The true horror that perplexes the mind and sears it with nightmares, is never truly healed. That is really loud. I'm going to assume. Oh, thank you. Let's try that again. February 16th, 1922. Arkham Asylum. Keep
Now,
out.
at my end, I can fully see. My last case opened in me a new fear, a real fear, a fear of myself, of what I am, and of what I've always been. All that I was is now lost. Hope, purpose, pleasure, all meaningless. I now walk in the shadows between worlds, and it is there I have finally glimpsed upon what lives in the dark corners of the earth.
Okay. The ignorant and the deluded are, I think, in a strange way to be envied. That which is not known of does not trouble us. So, well, I can't finish it. Kinda good, kinda bad. Game tips active. Sure, I'll take a tip or two. They can be turned off from the game options. Escape to menu. Click the continue button. 6.5 years ago. Okay, so that was in 22, and this is currently 6.5 years before that. So, you know, you're talking about what? $16? Don't completely miss anything else that's happened. Alright, so we've had a lot of buildings, and then people walking on patrol.
Good. What's the beef?
Sorry, Jack. We had to call. This fellow will only talk to you. Name's Victor Holt.
Don't know any. Victor?
He's the leader of this weird cult that moved in here a few months back. Got about 20 followers. They've been causing trouble all over town. Stealing, going through folks' trash, hanging around outside people's homes at all hours. No one ever presses charges, though. They're a screwy bunch. They've got the locals scared. So tonight, we were just passing, you know, doing the normal rounds, when we heard gunshots fired from their property.
Gunshots? Hang on there. No one said anything about gunshots. Who have we got out here?
Yeah, just me, Nichols, and a few new recruits.
Well, that's just great. Lead the way, Robert. I better check out this crazy gang of yours.
Alright, well, he is on his way. I'm sure I'll figure something out. Let's see, where are we starting? Police line, do not cross. Alright, that's easy. So, we are the police, and we're investigating. Right? Are you a Boy Scout? That's what you were. You were a Boy Scout, and you're like, I've got this. And the game is easier for you. But I'm a private investigator. We cannot go backwards. All this stuff is scenery with the police. Water. Lots of water. The earth seems to be broken by the... Good question. How you doing? Storms. Stormy night.
It's taking them so long. Something must be wrong.
I think I saw one.
Evening, Jack. Glad you could join the freak show.
How's it looking, Henry?
I don't like this one bit, Jack. Check the alley on the right. Victor Holt's over there in the shadows. He's waiting for you.
Can we trust him?
Nope, but we've got you covered. You better take it slowly, though. They're a bit twitchy.
Oh god, that guy is dead. I don't have any weapons, do I? This is where he went. So I go in. So I've got to go in. I've got to follow him into this house. There's a cult in here, gunfire. Oh good. Is this an initiation?
It's too dark to be sure, but that rotting smell tells me these shelves are used for storing food.
configuration. There we go. Just need to know. Action is S. Inventory is I. Quick heal is H. See, these are important things. Crouch is C. So, okay. So try those. Reload.
Keep shooting!
It's an old stove.
Alright. So, within this house, what can we gather? Nothing? This looks pretty interesting. What the heck is happening here? Okay, that's pretty cult-like. Some mechanism? Can't decipher anything. Okay, so they're just doing the thing.
It's locked. That symbol's strange. Looks almost like a flaming eye. I should take a closer look.
I should take a closer look. A flaming eye. Save. So the flaming eye is how you save. Save.
It's locked.
Kill them all!
It won't budge.
Well, that doesn't sound
It's been
good.
boarded up.
So, this house is in disrepair. A cult is using it.
At last!
They seem to recognize me. I don't get it. An old wardrobe. Poisoning by the looks of it. He's dead. They're all dead.
Okay, so a suicide cult. Some strange language.
Suicide. Or rather, mass suicide. These nuts had some serious issues. He's dead. They're all dead. Suicide. Or rather,
Okay.
mass suicide.
Same
These
thing over
nuts
and
had some
over.
serious issues.
So, I'm definitely kind of going a little crazy.
Don't shoot. I'm unarmed.
Ah, we've been expecting you, Mr. Wop.
A key. This he's dead. I better keep my distance from the window.
Inventory item. Alright, so the key is the inventory item. So inventory items are key. Right? Are you able to switch it around? Inventory clearly is going to play a role. You gotta have one and navigate it. Open the interface. Highlight the item and click on it to use it. with a character object or even by itself.
Or I'll end up like this nut job. Damn, he recognized me, and it sounded like he was going to get on the level with what's going on in this joint.
Get his shotgun. Alright. This is what our inventory looks like, which is pretty cool, I guess. Lots of paper. Right? Our health is paper. The screen is like a notebook. The sound is him writing on paper. All the items are pieces of paper. Just some, I don't know what you'd call that. Like a piece of notebook paper with some things on it. I don't know what they are. Resources I can collect. So everything's like paper. Oh, I have a mouse, of course. Except for us. We're not paper. Oh, okay. So, pretty detailed. That's pretty good. It'll let you really get into the environment when you can select different parts to heal. Whatever these are. But everything else is paper. Let's investigate some of these things. We have more paper. So is this part of the journal? Is this first item expansion onto itself? My journal and other written documents picked up during this investigation. Down here at the bottom. It's his journal. Oh, there it goes. That's his journal. It's paper. Everything else that pops up is paper. This is totally part of the journal. So, the first item is everything. Okay. Game time. That's pretty good. I've been at it for 10 minutes. Not yet available. Warning. Narcotic analgesic class. Helps block pain but should be used with extreme caution. Not available yet. A copper key with an S engraved on the head. So it's an S key. And it's copper. I hope this doesn't crash the game or anything. Let's see. through my computer. I might edit this part out, obviously, because I'm not doing anything. So if you are here, if you're here, I can respond to chat. Otherwise, I'll just edit this part out. Okay, so let's see. Copper, Hathor, Venus. Doesn't really matching up in Liber 777. Okay. The game crashed again. That's okay. using the key. Does that make any sense? Okay.
At last!
Alright, go through this again.
Don't shoot. I'm unarmed.
Ah, we've been expecting you, Mr. Wub.
A key. This should help down. He's dead. Looks like a bad case of lead poisoning.
Okay, here we are. Can't do anything with it. Can't do anything with it. Can't do anything with that. Ooh, we entered it. Okay, we can go deeper. Alright. Here's cool. Cool observation. We've got all this paper. This is paper motion. This is life. Paper in motion. So like a tree. The tree, tree of life. In motion. And then we can go deeper into the tree. The diary, your life, evidence, mythos, tomes, and manuscripts. Is there anything this is the personal level. The next is like the worldwide level. So there's like microscopic. But then this isn't even macroscopic compared to the greater macrocosm. So like the personal level is even the first. There's 2 degrees greater. Obviously doesn't take into account internal. Let's start here. Local disturbance. Evening. I guess I'm becoming a victim of my own success. After closing the last 5 cases so fast, the papers have been calling me a local hero. But I just had a run of lucky hunches, that's all. I'm just another cop doing his job. So there's a disturbance at a local residence. It's probably just a bunch of kids hopped up on moonshine. Why call in a detective? Oh, there is more. Whoops. Maybe the uniform boys are sore at being out in this weather, and they want to share the joy with a local hero. I wouldn't be the first good-natured prank I've had to take since those newspaper reports. I don't know, though. Something doesn't feel right. It's more than just a regular bad feeling. It's hard to explain, but it's strong. I'm probably just tired. The dreams don't help. I can't remember when I got a good night's sleep. Must be a month at least. right about the time I started my run of lucky hunches. The dreams have been getting worse lately. I'm almost afraid to close my eyes. Bourbon helped at first, but not anymore. The lack of sleep must be affecting my nerves. Well, jitters or not, I better get going. Lack of sleep, dreams, lucky hunches. Coalition of general evidence. Nothing. Mythos, tomes, and manuscripts. Nothing. There's no one else. Okay, we did this. There's nothing else in there.
It won't open. It won't open.
Okay. Now's a good
It's
time
locked.
of visiting to save. Yeah, let's do that. Alright. So. Whoa, what's happening?
It's locked.
The cultists are doing some sort of ritual, killing themselves. And they're kind of initiating you. They're initiating you, maybe because you're the player. This is one thing I've been thinking about, like, what's the purpose of the game world that you're in? Is it
It's locked.
just for the purpose of the player, or does it serve the inhabitants as well? That's definitely.
It's unlocked.
Oh, it's unlocked now. Okay, that's new. So this place definitely feels like it's lived in. It's believable. But there's definitely something off about it. Obviously, does a pretty good job at that too. Okay. No, let's keep that closed. Oh yeah, it's just me. So they
I
are.
don't understand. I mean, all of these photos. All of them. There must be some kind of mistake. Why would they want me here? It must be an old case. Something I've forgotten. Some screwball with a grudge, maybe. Think. I gotta think. Nothing of interest.
Okay, here is a key that says library. So that's going to be really important. We're going to have to get a mystical tome there, I bet. But we need to look around. Okay, let's take a look at these things. Doesn't let us.
What the hell is going on? It seems they've been tracking my movements.
8, 850, 10, 12, 2, 255, 4, 6, 10. Stake out fellow suspect. So they are deep into Jack here. Just as he's investigating them, they've been investigating him. It seems like they've been doing a better job at it.
Another key. This should fit the door across the hall.
Oh. You have the hunch. First journal item. Select a book. Alright. Well, we're gonna do that. Okay. Here we go. Collation the Boston Globe. Enlightened or duped? Inside Boston's strangest church. Those of our readers who live near its headquarters in an ordinary-looking Boston residence will need no introduction to the Fellowship of Youth, or whatever the cult's name is. For those who have not encountered this mysterious, semi-religious group before, a few words of explanation are necessary. Since our country's founding upon the basis of religious freedom, its shores have been home to many small religious groups outside the mainstream. No small number are headquartered in the states of New England, where the Pilgrims themselves sought a new world free of religious persecution. But the question must be asked, at what point does a religion become a cult, and its trusting adherents, not to mention its blameless neighbors, become victims? That is the question this journal poses in regard to the Fellowship of Youth. In a month-long investigation, our intrepid reporters have diligently sought out the truth behind the so-called church. Its origins are somewhat mysterious, the more so since the group's leaders declined to be interviewed or to assist in our investigation in any way. However, it seems that the fellowship was founded more than 20 years ago by one Victor Holt, based on a revelation he'd received from beyond the confines of the world. Holt had been not seen for almost 6 years. His followers had apparently believed that he'd been communing with the mysterious powers behind his faith, and that he is shortly to return with new insights and teachings. All this sounds like a harmless, if eccentric, spiritual group, little different from any others. However, those who make their homes near the Fellowship's headquarters tell a different, more sinister story. The adherents of this obscure sect are to be found loitering on street corners, casting menacing glances at their innocuous neighbors, and frequently engaging in acts of petty crime, which local police seem powerless to prevent or redress. Strange lights have been observed burning in the windows of the old house at hours of the day and night. They change colors unpredictably and cast weird, unintelligible shadows. Even more disturbing are the noises which have been heard issued from the mysterious building. They include chanting, unearthly music, and worst of all, screams like those lost souls in agony. Many of the sect's neighbors are convinced that its services include human sacrifice or similar atrocities. Those few who dared complain to the police were told that because the house is private property, and because there's no concrete evidence of any wrongdoing, the most they can do is file a noise complaint. Are the horrors of Salem being reenacted in our city more than 2 centuries on? Is this Fellowship of Yith engaging in unspeakable and criminal acts of worship involving torture and sacrifice? Why is nothing being done to ease the fear and distress they cause to the local community? Sources within the police department, speaking on the condition of anonymity, tell the Globe that the Fellowship is suspected of involvement in a number of local crimes, but so far the lack of evidence and the reluctance of nervous witnesses to come forward have thwarted any official investigation. Very well, we say. Where the police cannot or will not investigate, the Globe shall continue to act in interests of Boston citizens, fearlessly exposing the truth of the so-called church and its followers. Our findings will be published in these pages over the following months, so that all may know the truth. Editor's note: it is with great sorrow that the Globe announces the death of the reporter Howard Addlestone, who was leading the paper's investigation into the Fellowship of Yig when he apparently drowned in Boston Harbor. The coroner has ruled his death as suicide. Our condolences go out to his family. think we're getting close to the end of the episode, but there's definitely some more that we can do. Have a library key now.
It's unlocked.
Who are they shooting at out there? There's no one else in the house.
For nutcases, they seem quite literate. These books are really old, and most of them are in strange languages I don't understand. There are definitely some strange sounds coming from this side of the room. It appears to be a private study area. It appears to be a private study area. The drawer holds an ancient manuscript. The symbols on the front seem to be written in classical Greek. It appears to be a private study area. It appears to be a private study area.
So is this one of my manuscripts? Ooh, here we go. Greek manuscript. Now we're talking. Panacotica. This manuscript looks medieval, but claims to be a translation from the classical Greek of a far older work from before the time of the first humans. The pages are stained, faded, and even burned in some places, making reading it difficult. The legible sections tell the history of unthinkably distant antiquity. They speak of races so strange as to be beyond human comprehension, and wars fought all across vast gulfs of time and space. They are concepts so utterly alien that they sound like absolute madness. Time travel, flying polyps, mental projection, the great race of Yith. It makes you dizzy to just read it. Okay. Laying it on pretty heavy there.
I don't have time to read. I'm a detective, not a pen pusher.
Got it. Alright, let's think about things. That looks like it's a one-way trip. Let's really investigate.
I can't open it. Damn! Looks like I'm stuck. I might as well check this place out.
Okay. So, let's see. We could probably get a better view from up there, but... And what we came around the front... Okay, we went up the path until it took a right, and it was to our right in front of us. Then we had to go right again around the building, and we entered right here. Yeah, we entered right here. We've done all this moving right. And it just like you feel like you need to go left. Like if you keep going right, what? I guess this door is technically on the left. But this left, like going in here, it's kind of scary. You take a left. This is a safe space. We hear gunfire still, but it smells like rotting flesh.
Probably food, and the rats have been at it.
Food. And then when you finally do go right, you realize that the right path is the initiation into the cult, maybe. And if you take the left path, so you come in here, you can't go there, it forces you forward, you can't go right, it doesn't let you go right. It gives you some paintings, it gives you a clock, time. You save. You can't go right again. You gotta do the spiral. That's what was outside, it's the spiral. Spirals you up. Going right, it doesn't let you. You can't go right here. That's that room down there. So you can't go right. None of these work.
It won't open.
So maybe there's someone in there?
It won't budge.
So these two, this is a dead end. Right is a dead end. If you follow the right path, you'd be like, this door, I think, was open. He's in there, and he was trying to lure you in. Hey guys.
Empty ammo boxes and spent shells. An old wardrobe.
Nothing. Okay. Dead. There's lots of writing on the walls. And on themselves. So, and then if you finally do take the right, dead bodies. Suicide cult.
Poison appears to have been on the menu.
And that guy dies at the final door. And then you have to take the descent. It forces you down. You can't really go down. Takes you in here. And it reminds you to save. That's what it does. Come down the stairs. And it reminds you to save. Got the books in here, kind of disrepair. So there's a private study. Investigation. So here's private study. Private study, private study. The bottom of the mirror is gone, like your legs are removed. Which is foreshadowing maybe, because you have to drop down and then all that's left is your head.
Shit, that did not sound good. Well, that's just swell. He's dead. The beam must have fallen and crushed his skull.
Okay, so now we're going down. We've gone down, and the stairs have given way. There's virtually no going back right now, apart from us finding an object or getting help from above. So we go down. To the right. More death.
Medical charts on the human anatomy. Dead bodies, and plenty of them. Something dreadful has been going on down here.
Okay. So this is not ritual suicide, it's ritual sacrifice, maybe?
Seems like these cabinets are used for storing chemicals and medical equipment. Seems like these cabinets are used for storing chemicals and medical equipment.
Alright, well, that is an object that I'm not too sure about the name of. And it's got a dude on there. Okay. So,
This tunnel feels like it's gonna collapse at any moment.
so I'll think about that. Anything over here? It's always worth investigating. Interestingly shaped room. It's got four corners, right? Technically, four main corners. The main entrance. The door's just open. Just like, so they obviously have these doors open mostly just to bring us down here. Or not us. Whoever is running the place, or is it us? Is all of this designed specifically to funnel us down here like the rest of these people? It's maybe not us. It's definitely doing a good job of it. This spiral just funnels them down here. I mean, it doesn't seem like there's a specific importance to the direction, I guess. Oh.
Looks like his stomach. The contraption above seems to be controlling his breathing. His beating heart. Looks like his kidneys. They're moving around in all that liquid. This pipe must drain the waste from his intestines.
Why is it so far from his stomach? That doesn't make any sense. His stomach is right there, and here's his intestines. Alright.
Looks like his brain. I wonder what those wires are for.
Ooh, that's a magical crystal. Bloodstains.
Good God! What the hell is all this?
Oh, well, I don't understand any of that. Can I interact with this?
Ah! It's too hot to pick up.
Alright. I don't want to touch this yet. It looks very nice. If this kills me, then it does. Ah.
It's too hot to touch. I think it's being used as a power source for the machine.
Okay. Alright. You know what? You know, yeah. I'm gonna go talk with the guy first. That seems like it might be a end of the line room.
Oh, shit. I'm not touching it again. There's no power. At least he's out of his misery.
Sorry. Did I have to kill him?
At least he's out of his misery. The crystal's
I'm not
still
sure.
warm.
Maybe I had to kill him. Maybe they took all of his part. Maybe they took him all apart and put him here just so that I could kill him. Was he sacrificed? Did I sacrifice him just now? All of those people wanted just me to come down here to sacrifice him. Some initiation into this. Looks like an alien ship. It looks like an alien spaceship. That is a deep pit. Very deep, dark pit. So I did have to kill him. Alright. Initiation, you have to kill him for some reason to get the power cell. I mean, don't know why. Maybe it's charged. That sounds like it's got something moving in it. Is it liquid? I don't think so. There's something there. Is this a gate room, maybe? Let's find out.
It looks like something's been removed from it.
Oh, I got it. A strange green crystal. It's warm and exhibits an unusual glow. The device used. Alright, let's engage it and see where we go. So, real talk. If it's 1916, you are a private investigator investigating some cults or some small crimes, and you wander into this structure and you hit this button. Well, I guess you don't have much of a choice. There was a mysterious phone call.
It's been more than 6 years since I entered that strange house in Boston. But to me, it was just 5 months ago. Amnesia, the doctors called it. Probably brought on by acute mental stress. remember investigating the far side of the library. There was screaming. According to the police report, they had searched the house for hours, only to find me later collapsed on the floor. When my eyes opened and I spoke, my colleagues recoiled in fear. There was something unnatural in my voice and blank gaze. They committed me to Arkham Asylum, where I was diagnosed with severe schizophrenia. As it became clear that I presented no danger to either myself or others, I was released from the asylum's care. I have learned little of my activities in the 6 years that followed. The accounts I've been able to piece together show much of my time was spent in travel and study. I maintained a fanatical infatuation with the occult, delving deep into volumes concerning witch cults and dark legends, often in languages unfamiliar to my own. When I reawakened 5 months ago, exactly 6 years after entering that house in Boston, no trace was left of what had been a secondary personality. I was myself again, or at least what I believed myself to be. Return to normal life has been a painful process. In recent days, my dreams have been plagued by cosmic landscapes, and I've become fearful of my own reflection. I'm beginning to remember things from that day, more than 6 years past, that I've told no one else.
Jack Walters.
Hello, Mr. Walters. My name's Arthur Anderson. I need your help finding a missing person.
I don't take that kind of job.
Did you get my package?
Hold on. What exactly do you want from me, Mr. Anderson?
It's one of my store managers, you see. Brian's his name. Ryan Burnham. Nice lad. He disappeared recently from the First National grocery store in Innsmouth.
Innsmouth? Never heard of it.
It's a small fishing town on the coast, not far from Arkham. I'd like to see you in person before you leave.
Hold on there a minute. I didn't agree to take this what the hell? I'll be here all day anyway.
So I'll read this and then close out, I think. Night. I have a new client, Mr. Arthur Anderson, the regional manager of the First National grocery store chain. It appears that the First National grocery in Innsmouth was recently burglarized and its manager, one Brian Burnham, is missing. Arthur Anderson, Brian Burnham. From what I have been able to gather, Burnham is something of a young rogue. A friend of the family, Mr. Anderson, gave him a job as a favor. Burnham is looking like the prime suspect for the robbery, but there are a few things that don't add up. Not to Anderson and not to me. For instance, why would Burnham force an entry into the store when he had a full set of keys, free access to the cash register, and the combination of the back office safe? To misdirect any investigation? If that was his plan, why did he disappear? Following my conversation with Mr. Anderson, I found out what I could from the ancient town of Innsmouth. For generations, the crumbling seaport and its people have been shunned by neighboring communities. Outsiders are unwelcome there, and there are superstitious tales of a strange element in the town's oldest families. They are of mixed blood, so the stories go. Whatever that's supposed to mean, the usual Hicktown prejudice, no doubt. After making a brief visit to Innsmouth, My client came away distrustful of the local authorities. He isn't buying the line that Burnham robbed the place and wants to know what happened to him. Only one bus goes to Innsmouth, and tomorrow afternoon I'll be on it. It feels good to have a purpose 5 months after break through my amnesia. I also feel a little apprehensive. Maybe it's the wild stories about the town, or maybe it's just because I haven't had a case in so long. On our way to famous Innsmouth. So there's been lots of blood and rain, earth. The green is interesting. The green crystal and the green energy.
Driver, how
Green
far do we
crystal.
stop?
Almost there. I'll drop you at the town square of Innsmouth.
Why lock the gates?
Keeps out wanderers looking for work. We don't want those folks like that interfering with our affairs.
Is the bus from Arkham always this empty?
Aye, and we prefers it that way. Not many come to Innsmouth.
But what about trade? Surely the port needs business.
Innsmouth has the means to look after them all.
Alright, shut me up. The beheaded.
This is it, stranger. End of the line.
So we were on a bus. I mean, that's not the starting, but this is like the chapter 1 of the game. So prologue was tutorial.
Could you direct me to the First National Grocery Store? I hear they have a shop in town.
I don't know nothing about that.
Oh, well, you see, I'm looking for a young lad called Brian Burnham. I'm a friend of the family. He worked in the store.
Don't know who you're talking about, fella.
Chit-chatting to him's gonna get me no place fast. The First National's a large chain. You sure you haven't seen it?
I'm sure. Stop bothering me with questions.
So
I'm looking for Brian Burnham.
Can't help you.
okay. So there are citizens. Can't talk with that one. What about this one?
I'm looking for Brian Burnham.
Sorry, stranger. I can't help you.
It won't open. It won't budge.
Oh, he doesn't like that.
Do you know the Burnham lad? He worked in the First National.
Please, stop bothering me, stranger.
Outsiders coming, sniffing around, but they ain't wanted.
Whew.
The First National's a large chain. You sure you haven't seen it?
I'm sure. Stop bothering me with questions.
Okay, they obviously want you to go into this building. So, you go into this building, and it's like, if you go right, you know what's going to happen. you know that if you go right, you're going to go down the wormhole, or the rabbit hole, the wormhole. Well, it was some sort of portal. But if you go left, there's knowledge. Maybe better than knowledge. Save point. Okay. Visit to the old town is where we are at. The Gilman Hotel. So, it definitely, just from getting through the tutorial, I mean, all you have to do is go forward and click things. There's no danger. It's very occult laden. Oh, I should have looked at what that library key was. Yeah. I could technically go back and check it out. But I don't feel like it right now. So, pretty fun. I'll probably play some more of it and record it too.